Don't say I didn't warn you. Grab your headphones, grab your headphones, grab your headphones, grab your headphones. She's talking risky, we talking risky. Grab your headphones. Enjoy the show.
So 8 is your number tonight. And
Okay.
I just thought you were the perfect person to talk about spotting crazy punani. I figured, I said, let me ask.
Oh yeah. I'm a connoisseur.
Okay. So tell me, what is your technique? How do you know?
Spotting it?
Yeah.
Man. Knowledge of self. You feel me? you gotta know what turns you on, you know what I'm saying? You gotta know what that yin is to your yang. For me, for me, it's a lot of things, You never can really figure me out because I'm a dark, you know what I'm saying? I'm a dark man, so I'm a wild card, They think that dark-skinned men typically go for light-skinned women. And then they think we typically go for, white women and black women. But it's kind of like every woman I kind of see different types of them. They all possess some craziness. So it's just like a different type of math equation. Like you can tell like the earth tone ones that don't wash with real soap, the black soap, that's crazy pussy. Like, you got the ones that like, she may be earth tone, but she's a little deeper than the earth tone because then she's kind of like political, like she deep. Like you can't even go up to her and say, "What's up, my queen?" Because then she'll be like, "Did you know that the word queen was derived from the French word that's crazy pussy?" Ain't no way she got just some plain plum cotton. You know what I'm saying?
I call that the Baduism.
Yeah. But then, you know what I'm saying? You got like the corporate America, dark-skinned woman out here really trying to break all barriers, stereotype, because dark-skinned women got it the toughest and roughest.
Right.
But they be having some crazy sex because they be having to suppress a lot of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they got some earth-shattering, suck your soul in type sex. You know what I'm saying? Some crazy pussy. Then it's like with the white girls, if you like trying to like cross over into the light, and deal with the white, it's the ones that like, the librarian, quiet, glasses, read like obscure, sad ass poems and shit. They the ones with they the ones with the crazy calamari, You know what I'm saying? They crazy too. But it's just really how they interact with you too. Like you could just tell, especially the ones that like are like acting like they got their guards up. It's like if you really out with it like that, if you just like a freak,
I'm waiting for you to get to the one that I know officially is crazy, and that's the ones that faithfully go to church.
Oh, yeah, they crazy too. But those could be like the born again, trying to be like a good girl, but she definitely she a freak. You know what I'm saying?
That deacon freaking.
Yeah, the reverend laying hands on that one.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
What other one is there?
Or it's like the hood princess. It's like the one where she like, you know what I'm saying, her dad was a drug dealer, but her mom was like a nurse. She wants to go to school to be a nurse, and she got a little bit of knowledge. And like Jada Pinkett is like her hero and shit like that. But like Jada Pinkett from like
Not this entanglement.
But Jada Pinkett from like Boys in the Hood type, like, you know. But see, that's another one too. It be those cougars too, those old women. They got that jungle pussy too, where it's just like.
But I feel like those women, they know that they're crazy, but it's like, but I'm beautiful though, and you can't deny it. So I don't even have to trap you. You just gonna fall into the
right. They live several lives already. So they already know by the time you engage with them, they had you at checkmate, like kind of like the Venus flytrap. You entered into the conversation. You know what I'm saying? It be them quiet ones too. You know?
For sure, because they need expression.
It's like B.I.G. said, like the ones that be like, I don't usually. Okay. Okay. You just don't want me to think about. You don't want me to think different of you after this, but.
Yeah. To me, it's like for men, especially now, if it's a woman that says like she doesn't like to date or she hasn't been in a relationship for like 5+ years, oh, she crazy. Because right now I'm dealing with built up energy going into a year worth of built up energy and no expression, quote unquote. I couldn't imagine 5 years plus of feeling like this and being like, I'm gonna approach.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Energy right there. You know what I'm saying? Like a woman ironclad in the pussy for 5 years. She's sitting on some crazy. You know what I'm saying? She nurturing that crazy. But also too, the way you can kind of spot a crazy some crazy pussy is that woman that like beats on her man. You know what I'm saying? You know the only way he's staying with that is that's got to be some.
And nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about women beaters. Like women are out here manhandling these men and taking their phones and going through their call log and cutting them off from their families. Like
that the breakup sex got to be the good shit. Like the woman that threw hot grits on Al Green, her pussy, her sex had to be good. You know what I'm saying? Like for her to do some shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
I just I need the men out here to be educated more on the crazy pussy because it's going to save them a lot of drama and hassle.
Oh, yeah. And see, we talking about the obvious ones, right?
Yeah.
That's another thing too. It's like I want my men's to. It's kind of like what we were talking about, like the Venus flytrap. Like you came into the conversation thinking it was one way. She already had a plan for you. She already knew you were already caught up the moment you got into this conversation. And it's like some of these guys, they be talking like, oh, yo, she let me drive the car. I ain't got to do shit. You know what I'm saying? She let me drive a car. I drop her off at her job. She let me just whip the car and shit. That's crazy pussy, dog. Like, you know, like that is crazy pussy. Don't brag on that shit because she is controlling you some type of way. Like, but why does she have to do that? Like, why does she feel like she's got to put big collateral for you to do that? Like, so these things that we think are pluses, those are like webs of entrapment right there.
It's like when you're making a deal with the devil.
Yeah. Or like when niggas be talking about, oh yeah, man, she let me, she know I'm going through hard times and, you know, she moved me in and my big girl keep me fed and shit. I always be telling people, big girls not loyal at first.
See, this I don't know.
Man, let me tell you, as a big girl connoisseur, because this is the thing, big girls are always, I feel like, they're always trying to elevate their standard. They might go below their standard because they know what they by this time they know what they want, they know what they feel like they're capable of, and they know what they get. Right. Sometimes what you're capable of, sometimes it's not what you get. And so they always round up. I feel like they're always on the next, and they start off from a small place first. Mm-hmm. I wasn't getting any D. Now I got this nigga, he don't work. He ain't got a job.
So then you become the D factory where you own this work.
Right, he giving me that D. And meanwhile, he bragging. He probably bragging, dragging her through, taking her money, driving a car and shit. But it's the nigga at work. Once the nigga, like the security guard at work, start giving her some compliments, you know what I'm saying? Start flirting with her. She gonna leave your ass quick. I remember my brother was on some shit where he was bragging. He got out of prison. And he was like, man, she don't expect nothing from me, dog. Like, she basically give me the keys to the whip, and I do whatever I want. We got like an understanding. Nah, man.
That's what you
and
thought.
Then 3 weeks later, left that ass.
He left it, or she left?
She left that ass. Because there was somebody else handling his business just a little bit above you. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit above you. And then on to the next guy. Like the next guy comes along just a little bit above the other dude. Maybe this next guy, like, he has a job. So he can like, I don't know, take care of her in some type of way in ways that the nigga that don't have a job can. But he's still playing games. Although he's like taking her out and shit, he's still playing games and shit. He's
doing the basics, so you don't have nothing.
Right. But then after that, maybe she elevate her game. Maybe she start, I don't know, she lose a little weight, or maybe she get a better job, and the nigga that like start paying her attention. Got a job, really wants her, and he in the church. Big girls will leave your ass quick.
This is the thing. Men don't understand that if you're not on your 100%, you're gonna lose by the men that's conveniently in the same place your woman is. Not because your woman's there, but because I was gonna come here anyway, so it looks like I'm being consistent about you, but I'm really not.
Man, I'm not saying nothing that I haven't been through myself.
Yeah.
I'm not like spitting some shit where I'm like, I just, I seen the game, I see it. Now this shit doesn't happen to me, dog. Like for real, I'm over here thinking like things. No, it's gonna be all right. I mean, she really riding for me. She make it easy for me. All I gotta do is just. And then it's like, man, you hear stuff like, hey, man, such and such, she cheating on you. Well, who? The nigga from work? The bartender? You know what I'm saying? I was in a situation like that where I was dating this girl, and we were all working at the restaurant together, and, I lost my job or whatever like that, just being dumb. And, for a while, I couldn't find another restaurant gig, so she was just holding me down. And she ain't my woman. She not on my lease. She nothing. She's
not my lease.
She's my girl, but from a legal standpoint, she's nothing to me. She doesn't have any ties to me. Like
she don't owe you shit.
She don't owe me nothing.
Yeah.
And that has an expiration date.
Yeah.
So it's just like I wasn't walking around thinking like, man, I got it good. But I also didn't know that, hey, man, competition was right next door. Now, think about that. We all work together.
Yeah.
So him liking her had to be, the seeds had to been like, cultivated while I was there.
Of
and
course.
Then as soon as I was out the picture, You know what I'm saying?
It's easy.
8 hours. Yeah, 8 hours away from me. You know? But I always be telling dudes, don't be bragging about how good you got it. Because, you know, that shit, like, people always calculating. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, women do it too. Like, girl, he bought you what? Girl, tell me about y'all night. Girl, it was just boring, girl. Ain't nothing to say. Like, all the goodness gonna be within me, okay? Including your unborn kids. But to me, it's kind of like there are levels of the crazy that a lot of males are not educated on. But people that's like, you know, professionals in the crazy of the punani, like a Joe Budden needs to speak up. He needs to speak up. Like, sir, you have Tahiri, and then you have this one.
Yeah, but men bring it out. Men can bring it out of women.
Of course.
And at the same time too, it's about that. It's just as much as science as it is anything else, because it's like, you know, take some time to look at her parents and see how they, you know what I'm saying? Because women, not every women are not monolithic, but like some women date what they know. They date, you know, their father, or they date traits, or they date the situation, or maybe, you know, that's why, like, you be seeing some women where it's like all through like middle school to high school, they dated like the athlete list, or they dated the smartest guy in class. But it's like, you notice that like once they got like the junior high to like college, they just started dating like total opposites, like thug ass niggas. Like,
some women purposely go against the grain, knowing it's not the right thing to do, and it's just like, but I just like how he's just so exciting, and I just never know.
Yeah, but I feel like their tolerance for what their parents or what her mother went through it's innate, like it's inherited. So she's used to the man, like the first few years it's gonna be a struggle. He just has to learn. He just has to find out who he wants to be, but I'm gonna hold him down. I'm gonna be his rock. That shit is crazy. But I bet you that sex is good. That's some crazy ass sex. People who have like that toxic sex, good sex, they need counseling. Like that relationship should come with therapy.
They need counseling for sure. But you know, they're not going.
Because those be the ones when you have a history, especially if you think about those times where you see women on the news and she just stabbed the dude, or maybe she didn't even kill the dude, but you know, I remember watching the news and it was this woman that like she put this man's car on fire and shit, and almost burned herself. I think like from impact. She from impact of the car blowing up, she slammed into the next car over. But just think about that, where it's like, yo, man, like that is some crazy ass shit. Like,
because women get like they get just like rage, and women don't do common sense shit within rage. They just don't.
Yeah, but it's also too like, I think it's like this inherent thing of like, this is normal. Like this bit of like struggle is normal. He's supposed to, you know, cheat every now and then, or it's supposed to be hard. He's gonna learn. It's almost like they expect the dude to kind of be like, hit certain boxes of like, oh shit, like
fuckery.
He's reformed. Yeah, or he's reformed out of prison. He's got 3 kids, but he's trying to take care of them. He's got a GED, but he's trying to start his own job. And I mean, he's trying to start his own company, and so what? He's selling drugs right now, but it's not his end goal. I'm gonna be there at the. But it's like some of those relationships. You think about them; those relationships, they've been toxic since they were like kids, since they were in high school. And then you see women on the news where they like snapped, and like, and I'm just like,
that's how I know. Like I'm not mentally ready to be in a relationship because I'm too close to the level of fuck it, and I can't go into learning somebody new with that just on me. So I gotta wait till my numbers go down on my level. Because I will end up on Snap off of just somebody wasting my time. You don't even have to do anything else but waste my time.
I definitely am like the female equivalent. I mean, or the male equivalent to a female who snaps. Like, because I feel like like as much of, what I'm saying as certain profiles that women go through, I fit profiles too, where it's like, my parents and how they were together. It was just crazy, and it was some crazy shit and stuff that I saw, stuff that I endured. So it was like, I kind of feel like I would take shit more. I would be like more understanding, more like, no, it's okay. I know you didn't mean to cheat on me. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I was, you know what I'm saying? But then it's like, after a while, I'd be like, man, what the fuck? You did what?
Yeah.
Oh, you trying to play me?
Yeah.
Oh, you really trying to play my intelligence? Just going crazy. But yeah.
Or even like a consistent amount of rage.
Yeah.
Off and on. You can only do that for so long before somebody is like, okay, I'm losing it.
Yeah, I think you can only play with people's minds too for so long, because it's like, it's one thing to like, that's why I'm just like, I remember like, a time where I would be learning about myself through working, through my work experiences, because I didn't go to college, or I didn't like do these things that people would go through to mature. I was working at an early age, and so I was working I think I started working like at 15. So I've been working ever since, and so I had to learn about my tolerance of people, how to get along with people. And I remember like at some point I was just telling this one guy like, yo man, people like you at work and shit. Every time you get around, you're always trying to like start some shit, or you always gotta say hello by roasting people. And it's just like, I'm gonna put you in a box. I'm gonna put you in a box. Like, are you like an asshole? Are you a good person?
Because you weren't dating?
No. I'm saying like, as an example of like, when I was like just like trying to learn my way throughout the world and how to like have friendships, relationships, and because I went through some shit where it was just like, even when I was working at Urban, like I was just like, yo man, I don't give a fuck if you don't like me. I don't like you. Like, I was just a confrontational person.
Yeah.
And then I just started realizing like, yo man, like, I got set boundaries, and it's like, I was telling this guy like, yo man, like, people are gonna start putting you in a box. I'm gonna put you in a box. Are you an asshole? Are you a good person? Like, are you an asshole? Are you good? Are you cool to be around? Because people ain't got time for that shit. Like, people ain't got time to be like, oh man, he's a good guy. You just gotta get to know him. Like, and I feel like that's how relationships are, where it's like, you can burn somebody out. It's like, let me put you in a box. Are you worth me spending time with you? Are you just some dipshit? Are you a scumbag? Are you a real good person? Because it's really not that hard. Like, when we get to a certain age, it shouldn't be this difficult. Like, it's not difficult.
It should be more simpler as you go.
Yeah. Like, what box do you want me to put you in? Because, like, I'm not going to be trying to run my brain, trying to figure out, like, does she care about me? Or is that's just her way of showing that she likes me?
And that's why people today be needing validation, because there's so many ways that you can act like you do and you don't with this social media shit, that I'm gonna need you to show me in other ways other than liking my picture or coming to the house that we share every night. Like, nigga, where else would you go? You pay rent here. So I just feel like crazy pussy doesn't have to be crazy pussy to be great. It can still be great.
Yeah.
And you can still be
sane. You can still be healthy.
Yeah. So this whole connotation about, she crazy, so I know that thing good. Like, that's a thing that men say.
Yo, but think about like those times where, we've all been shocked and we were watching the news and like you hear about some football player that got murdered or some basketball player that got murdered by his side piece.
Yeah.
And he most definitely, like, everyone's shocked on different levels. One, because he was murdered. Two, because, man, like this guy, this pillar in the neighborhood, you mean the guy that's giving out chicken? I mean, he's giving out turkey every Thanksgiving. The guy that's like at church has a side piece.
Right.
But, in order for him to be interacting with that woman, they were probably having some crazy ass sex. There was something that was like we all saw
Pastor Wilson on Twitter going ham. We all saw Pastor Wilson.
Yeah.
Hold the hell up. You mean to tell me y'all been listening all this time and you ain't getting no merch? Fall is coming. Fall is like my favorite time of the year. Autumn is my favorite season. So if you're looking for some merch, check your girl. Support the She Gets It podcast by getting you some merch. You know what I'm saying? You get some merch, you support, you get a little something out of it. You become a representative, an affiliate for She Gets It podcast. And I have sweatshirts on there, hoodies, t-shirts, whatever you need is on the She Gets It shop. Shop with Teespring. I'll go ahead and put the link up. Let's get back to the show.
Yeah.
You just gotta know.
That'd be that dangerous stuff. It's like, that I think that's another conversation. It's like men, they get used to, or maybe it's like they get into this routine of what a marriage or a relationship is, and they get bored, and so they gotta go mess with something that's like, by definition, if you look at it on paper, that's crazy, dog.
Yeah.
Like, like, you're trying to like have this extra life with this woman that's like, she barely has a job. She works at Hooters. She's like, she's calling you whenever she needs help or with the bills, or not even with the bills, but like, because anybody could need some help. But it's like you got to put out fires, damsel in distress type shit.
Yeah.
But what's the common denominator? What's the attraction? I bet it be the sex.
Is the sex, or sometimes it could be for men a need to be needed. Like a wealthy woman don't need you technically.
Let me tell you. Future is not having tamed pussy.
Oh no, I know he's not.
I bet the common denominator there is definitely the crazy.
Oh yeah.
Either that or he brings it out of them.
Oh yeah. If you spend all this time looking cute out in the open and reserved and not doing too much, you definitely doing too much somewhere when the doors is closed.
Yeah.
For sure.
Look at pictures of Sierra with Future versus with Ryan Wilson.
Close up, honey. Cover my neck, honey.
Yes. Different woman. I got a shawl for my neck. You know,
my man
showing
covers me.
I'm showing too much skin. Let me put these gloves on.
Listen,
Like,
I don't know, but I always tell people like, I don't want toxic dick, but I would like a great healthy relationship with the characteristics of toxic P. Like, where is that mix up?
Yo, that kind of remind. I was too young to really grasp and see this movie all the way from the beginning to the end. I don't even know the name. It was a movie with Wesley Snipes and Shania Lathan.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was some movie with some movie with Shania Lathan and Wesley Snipes, and I remember just like going in and out of the living room. You know, my stepmom and my sister were watching it, and some aunties were over watching it. And it
you
was
talking about
like
disappearing acts?
Yeah.
What is that about?
I don't even know to this day, but I just remember like being in that living room and girls being like, "Oh my God, the sex scene coming on!" Or, "Oh my God, girl," and are just hearing like girls the women pausing it and talking about their thoughts on it. Like, "Yeah, girl, you know the maintenance man, because the maintenance man, you know look, she should have gave him a chance because he was trying to." And you know, every now and then when I see that movie, I'm like, I have an idea what it's about. It's maybe some guy that, you know, he's trying to get his shit together. He probably came from the hood and he's trying to start his company. Maybe it's not the Fortune 500.
That's exactly what it is, Nick. So
yeah,
Tana is a singer who pays her bills working as a high school teacher, a music teacher. And then Wesley Snipes is a financially troubled, recently divorced builder with 2 children.
Right.
They basically try to mesh it.
Yeah.
That's our frustration sex. That'd be good too.
Yeah, but I just remember like this the reaction of the women in the living room that night. It was just like, "Girl, yes, girl," and it's like, and that's what you kind of reminded me of that toxic, but
yeah,
because like again, when you think about like Wesley Snipes and you think about the movies that he played, that's what I'm saying. I didn't know what the movie was about, but if you think about some of the roles, it could have easily been brother makes it out of prison and he's trying to do right and trying to start his own company, and that be that sex that women be wanting, where they be like, are the man that they want. Yeah, I want him to be rough and come from some type of struggle, but he trying to do right. And it's me and him against the world, girl, and we gonna make it out. It's
girl,
that type
that's
of
rare.
shit.
That's rare.
Yeah.
I don't know, like,
but if you think about it though, that's like, if you think about it, that's the shit that was fed to us though. Because it's almost every movie is like that. If you think about Waiting to Exhale, you know, on some level, I think there was some male characters like that, where it's the corporate black woman, and then she got this guy. He got his own dreams and ideas, and maybe his dreams is to start his own Thai company and some shit like that. Mm-hmm. And it's like it's not traditional. But it's like, yo, at least he wants to start his own thing. Mm-hmm. But or it's the woman that's like she's poetic and she's smart and she falls in love with this thug, but she realizes that he's smart too and he's got potential. He's only selling drugs because his mom is hooked on crack. That's the shit that they fucking sell to us since the 90s and stuff.
And then that had you confused, like, do you work with this issue?
Yeah.
And it's not saying that you're scarred because of this issue and you can never get right. It's just saying there's no movie that ever gave women limits on, okay, you need to step away from this relationship. It was always women who antagonize spaces with men that they really should have not even dealt with.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. It seems like for us, what in like in the media and like our shows and stuff like that, we've got to have struggle. It's got to be some type of struggle, whether it's social norms, whether it's, you know, economical, you know, it's got to be some type of struggle. It's either the corporate woman that falls in love with the poet or artist. What movie is that? Love Jones. Or it's the corporate woman who she realized chasing corporate dreams and trying to go for that brother that went to Howard, that he ain't shit because as soon as he got on, he left you for a white girl. But there's this but there's this math teacher or some shit like that's like got this like all he wants to do is just see his community be right. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like that's what our not our responsibilities, but that's what we have been projected. Or think about like Baby Boy, like, you know, like Jody and old girl were having crazy sex, but toxic sex too.
Yeah.
But my man's gotta like go through all of that. He's gotta like put her through all of that to realize he's got a good woman. You know? He's gotta cheat on her and shit like that and take her to her limit.
That's what pisses me off, because I'm just like, are you telling me that I'm not a good woman because I have boundaries and I don't want to put up with your bullshit?
Right.
It's really contradicting, and that's why all that old shit and all old thinking has to die. That's why your grandmother can't be telling you what man you need to stick it out with, because your grandfather was around with your grandma for different reasons.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I don't take relationship advice from my grandparents.
Why not?
Hell no. Because it's the most toxic thing I've ever seen. Like my grandfather, first of all, you know, my roots is from South Carolina, Hilton Head Island. Mm-hmm. My grandfather, he was a fisherman. And that is the equivalent of your father being a truck driver.
Yeah,
and
he's
the
a
stereotype about a truck. Yeah. The stereotype about the truck driver is like, you know, he got kids in every state. Well, you know, my grandfather, you know, he was getting it in. You know what I'm saying? Like on that island, you know, just getting it in parts throughout. And I would hear as a kid like the stuff that my grandfather would put my grandmother through, like, and it was obvious too, because I had like, you know, half uncles and stuff like that. I remember one year I was in high school, and my grandparents went through some hard times, and my dad and his sisters, I think it's like 6 or 7 of them, they had to all get together and put their money together and get, not only, the goal was not to only get them out of the debt, because I think the house was going to be taken or something like that. But they came up with the idea of like, let's not just get them out of debt. What can we do to own this house? And so they came up with a plan to own the house. And they wrote out like this business model or this business plan, which basically said, when I read it, it was like all of the children under the marriage and union of such and such and such. And I was like, what's the need? Why is the need to specify this property is under the are beholden to the children under this union? And my older brother was like, oh, that's just them saying like, yo, this property is not going to all his outside kids. Like, that's we own
wild.
Yeah. Yeah, like Because I was like, yo, we got more aunts and uncles. Like, why are they specifically saying that this property is to, and they list like, my aunts and my dad, but my Uncle Willie B wasn't on that list.
Mm-hmm.
That was a sign, that was a hint right there. Uncle Willie B ain't on that list. And he was like one of the main kids that were outside the marriage, but he was still he still got favored. So like my grandmother would allow him to come, but the other ones weren't coming around. I guess she was like and what it probably was like my grandmother, I think she had like, I forget the exact number, but I think it's like 5 girls or 6 girls, and my dad's the only boy. So I guess Uncle Willie B was close in age with my dad, so she at least allowed them to be around. The other kids weren't coming around, and I imagine my granddad probably had more throughout the years.
That's wild. But just like my grandparents. My grandparents were married for 47 years, and they had 13 kids together. And my grandfather, he built houses in Jamaica, and he had one child outside of their marriage. And he claimed that the woman till this day raped him. Sir, you were at this woman's house for months, building her house.
Maybe she made like natural roofies, like maybe she made like natural rape drugs out there,
But my thing is like certain shit like that, your grandmother stayed because it was more things on the line regarding their feelings, and men back then looked at family as like a different standard than the men today. Men today be like, I ain't want them kids, she wanted them kids, so she take care of them kids.
Plus it's like status too, or like stature. Like, you gonna break up a marriage that they call, quote, a good marriage because, hey, look at the climate out here. Like, first of all, men are going out trying to provide for the family, not making it back.
Yeah.
Because the clan and the times back then, and you got a man that he's around the kids. When he's around the kids, he put food on the table. That's a good marriage. Like, what you talking about?
Yeah.
And so,
do you think our grandfathers would have stayed if our grandmothers act like the women today? I'm just curious. Like, if they was like all in their face and spitting on them and hitting them, would they stay?
That's hard to say, because I'm not gonna lie. Like, the ugly truth about the Black community is, the violence, the domestic violence.
Yeah.
So it was, you think about like watching like blaxploitation movies or just movies back then where, women got slapped, or women got beat. That's part of the issues with my grandparents too, because it's like, not only did my grandfather, disrespected her, but think about financial abuse. He's got the money. First of all, he's got the money. You've got the kid. You got the kids. So what schooling can you do to better yourself to get yourself out of this situation?
Yeah.
So sometimes when you think about like the difference between the women now and then, those same things are still going on, but the power structure is a lot different now too. Whereas, women don't have to take that. They don't have to, one, take you abusing them, two, cheating on them. Like, especially if you got a certain stature, especially if you live in a certain place in America called California, where let your ass cheat all you want, and you will find that your ex-wife Yes, you will find that your ex-wife is demanding $2 million a month.
Yeah.
Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
Although that shit got denied, let's not act like that didn't have him sweating. Because
of course. Because sometimes, and most times, judges do rule in a woman's favor. Like Nas and Khalees divorce. She got to keep their house in California. She got $53K in alimony. And she got $30,000 a month for their kid that they share.
Yeah.
That means I have to work just so I can pay you and then work more for myself.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Now, taking it back to the question though of like, grandfathers versus the women of today.
Yeah.
Where, there will probably be some negatives and some positives, because women are a lot more like independent these days.
Yeah.
Women can demand more. But then too, it's like, who knows? Because I'm just like, a woman like coming back with the same energy, then somebody would get murdered up in there.
Oh yeah. Especially if she has a degree or. Listen, I ain't never seen my grandfather comb anybody's hair. I ain't never seen my grandfather do laundry. I've never seen my grandfather cook or wash dishes. So that whole gender role shit would be an issue.
Yeah. That's true.
I think our grandfathers would definitely be fucking the sitters, because they definitely ain't watching them kids.
Right. But too, like, if you think about too, like, there are a lot of like examples of, having archetypes of what we have today. Like, Nina, like for instance, I think it was like pretty much the norm for certain Black female entertainers to be dating or be married to their managers.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, Nina Simone. She was married. To
that
to
was
her
abusive.
Man. Yeah.
Ike and Tina. That was abusive.
Right. And that wasn't just no band leader type shit. He was controlling the money too.
Yeah.
But she was definitely the bigger star. She was definitely the money maker. But yeah, so there's like archetypes of like women being independent, being the leader, and like somehow men found a way.
Celine Dion and her manager, her husband, was 12 years apart in age. Right.
Mariah Carey and Tommy Mottola.
Everybody hated him.
Yeah. I thought I was just so cool for knowing his name, like Mottola.
He just sounds like he killing and he getting bodies and selling drugs. Let me get that Mottola. I don't know. I would like to give my man piece crazy pussy vibes, but I don't want to give you the attitude that comes with that, because I don't have enough energy at the end of the day to want to spread that when I want peace. Can I have peace while I get a piece?
Well, I've been wondering too, like crazy, crazy. I guess we'll call it peas, right? That's what we call it. Crazy. Well, just crazy interactions.
Yeah.
Crazy. A night full of lustful, crazy energy.
That's sweaty.
Is that
wetty.
something that? Yeah. Is that something that could be done 365, or is it best experienced every blue moon, or like?
I want to say like every 2 to 3 months you get that wave, like we're really good, now we're shitty.
Yeah.
Really good.
Or just like, is it because some of my best experiences are like those times where it was just like you had that when we had that understanding, this is what it was. This is like a booty call, or this is but I think about like, yo, that's always gonna go down in history for me and her, like as some crazy sex. But could we make something of this 365? It would probably burn out.
You would end up hating each other.
Yeah.
Like I've experienced that, and I'm just like, no, we can never live together. We can never be around each other every day. Our maximum days together that we could spend is 3 to 4 days, and then we gotta separate.
Yeah. But I wonder if that is the new norm, because like I have a friend where her mom is I think I've known her to be married one time, and she's a professional. And I don't, like, to this day, I don't know who she dates, but I know like she's in her 50s or her 60s. So she still got needs and stuff like that. I'm just like, does she have like a mature type of situation where it's just like,
listen, hey. My mother asked me to check her email, and when I went into her email, I saw nothing but Adam and Eve emails sent to her. So I know my mom has sexual toys. I know my mom into like her kink. And then she told me that she needs to get a marriage certificate. So do I have my dad's death certificate? So she has like some man that I don't know in corner pocket to get married. But my thing is like, girl, you 67, do your thing. That toxic P is coming in town for you. I hope not. I hope not. Because just like we're talking about toxic P, I'm talking about crazy P in a separate episode.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's legit a thing.
Oh yeah.
The worst
that one.
Which one?
That's that one. That's that one that have women talk about, yeah, girl, I'm telling him like right now, like I'm just done. I'm done. If he doesn't get his shit together, and then next thing you know, yeah, girl, we got, you know what I'm saying, baby number 2.
You never done that. You need a whole restraining order in the government to separate yourself against that shit.
Yeah.
At least I did.
Like, where do you find time to do that? Like, I thought you was leaving them.
It's madness, dog.
But that's the characteristics of that crazy P too. Is like, man, I'm done with her, dog. I'm telling you, man.
Oh yeah, you going right home to her.
Yeah. Nah, y'all gonna get back. Y'all gonna get back together. Nah, man, it's done. I mean, it's done. Next thing you know, this nigga got fucking hickeys all over his fucking neck and shit.
Hickeys and scratches, looking like he done been with a saber-toothed tiger.
Nah. I'm about to go, yo. I'm about to get ready to go. Where you going?
Like, ain't no man trying to meet you at this hour at night. Like, be honest.
Right. Where you going? I thought you said it was. I know you ain't going over Shanice's house. I thought you said it was over. Like crazy pussy. But it only goes one place, and that's the court. It only goes one place. Cause that crazy pussy will escalate things really quick. Like fucking year 1, y'all got kids. Year 2, y'all at the courthouse get married. Year 3.
Like anything that's gonna make you feel ashamed of dealing with, you know better.
Yeah.
Like you should be able to be comfortable in any room with anybody seeing, and you not flinch.
Yeah. You got a friend that like is, in a relationship where it's some crazy toxic throwing dinner plates at each other and having sex, and next thing you know, for every breakup, there's a kid. For every infidelity, there's a
I
fight,
want none of that.
Comes out. Yeah, then you need the best you can do, because you know they done burned the ears of all their friends or everyone that would listen to them, to the point where everyone at the village know y'all crazy. Best you can do is just like, you know what I'm saying, get them some counseling, or be like, call the police. We don't know who. We don't know who pulled the trigger. It could be either or. Like,
and that's the shit why the police is like, if one of y'all are pressing charges, and both y'all going to jail, because they don't even want to get in and decipher who did what, why they did what, and who started it.
Yeah. Well, she threw the plate at me, and then like I went to warn her, but next thing I know, like. I mean, yeah, I did choke her a little bit, but like shit. Shit like that, like, yo, y'all are crazy, man. But it's like my life be flashing sometimes when I be seeing certain women that hit that genetic makeup. I'll be like, ooh, yo, she smelling like Nag Champa. Black soap.
I can't.
You know what I'm saying?
The Bath and Body Works ones be crazy too.
Yeah.
You know, that artificial sweet nectar. Don't even play with it.
The one with the 5 brothers, and all three of them went through some type of state property university. The Cobb County University. You know what I'm saying? She got one brother coming off of his concrete prison vacation.
I can't.
Like that, yeah, the hood chick, she be having a crazy sex too. Watch out.
The ones that you be scared to break up with.
Right.
That's madness. I don't know. I have never latched onto a man that I ever made him feel scared to tell me something or to do something.
Hey, but there's another one, just out of respect though, that we haven't classified. You know those second generation Jamaican girls, they crazy.
I am offended.
They crazy.
I mean,
they is crazy.
We do have a tiki, but it's because we're just overwhelmed by the audacity of your fuckery.
Let me tell you, I dated this girl from Boston, and her parents are Jamaican and stuff like that, and her family Jamaican. And man, I'm talking about, it's like she had porcupines on her. Like, she was just like hard. It was hard to even like show love and affection. She was tough.
They're very like cut off. That's how my grandma was. She hated hugs.
Like, I remember I coming in the apartment, I'd be like, "Oh, what's up, baby? Like, you ain't gonna wash your hands. You ain't gonna wash, Nick. You've been outside in that jacket.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Don't sit on my bed.
Like, right. Don't sit on my bed. I remember, man, this girl, man, she flipped out on me because I went to go wash my hands, and you know what I'm saying? I got some wet hands. I'm like, okay, I feel comfortable with these 2 pieces of bounty.
Yeah.
Nick. All you need is 1.
Oh yeah, they extreme.
Let me tell you too, like, she never really taught me any Jamaican like cuisine.
Yeah.
But she was like showing me different things that like her mother instilled in her. Like, we were making spaghetti, and so we were grounding the beef, and she was like, "Get all those pieces." I'm like, "You referring to the little nuggets of beef as pieces?" No, get all those pieces. You're not doing it right. You over here wasting food. I just really felt like, man, like, and this woman, she was shorter than me, skinny,
Short
just
women
like a
are
boss.
mean sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like, man, like,
Get all those
Jamaican girls, man. Get all those pieces. I was like,
we just have a low tolerance for repeating ourselves or men thinking that they're smarter than us and trying to do some slick shit.
Yeah.
Like, you definitely crazy.
I remember one time, man, I was coming over to her dorm and shit, and she was like, I cooked dinner. And I was like, oh, word, all right. And like, she had already eaten and everything. I was getting off of work, coming through for, late little rendezvous. Mm-hmm. And she's sitting there watching me eat the food. And at first I didn't think anything of it, but I was just like, okay, this is kind of weird. Like,
she not gonna eat.
Right. And so like, I'm eating the food and she just watched me eat. And she's like, Nick, yo, you're not gonna eat all of that? I'm like, I'm full. Okay. But what time did you get off of work?
The calculation.
Like, right. Like, I saw where she was going.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, were you at somebody else's house?
Yeah.
You got here a little late.
Yeah.
How come you're not eating my food? You should be hungry, right? And that's how she was approaching it. By the time, that's what I was telling you, that Venus flytrap. By the time I sat down, I was in trouble. And I literally was late for work. I mean, late getting from work. But she was just like, this don't sound right. This don't smell right. So go ahead and eat this food. And if you, that's how she was breaking it down to me. She was just like, now if you were at work from 9 a.m. and you did hungry. Overtime, yeah. So which is it? Are you, oh man. And luckily, I was on my shit and I realized that, I wasn't doing nothing wrong, but I realized that's where her mind was at. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay. And I'm pretty sure she didn't think I was doing anything, but just in case I was.
But a lot of women, especially if they have foreign parents, are taught to keep your eye on the man, and this is what all men do. And even if you don't think they're doing it, treat them as if they're doing it. And it's fucked up because some women might be great, but the way that they were taught, they push these men away because they a level of crazy that ain't nobody about to put up with.
Yeah.
And that's why some men be like, how old are you? And then you tell them your age and be like, and you haven't been with anybody in, 6 years? No? Oh, you crazy. You can't be that. You can't be that fine. You can't have all these pros about you and be single this long. Like, you crazy.
A woman not having sex for 6 years is the equivalent of. It's like the age-old advice that you give to your boys. It's like, again, niggas come in and they be bragging about stuff like, oh yeah, man, I'm about to hit her and about to hit it. Yeah, she a virgin. You don't want that. Experience tells you don't want that. The type of guy that you are, type of guys that we are right now, we sleaze bags. Like, you don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want that problem.
Yeah.
Because, you about to open her up to her Pandora's box to levels of crazy she didn't even know she could possess.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I think about women that like, I haven't had sex in a while. Like, oh, you like a born again virgin.
Oh yeah. You about to be on my nuts like pubic hair.
Yeah.
For sure.
Only this time, this woman, she's been around, she's in tune with her craziness. Mm-hmm. So it's like,
she think all the women doing that shit. No, ma'am, it's just you.
You wasted my time?
It's just you.
Yeah, what was that movie with Martin?
Thin line between love and hate.
Yeah.
That was nuts.
That was so crazy. Yo, that's an example too of guys, because he was doing the same thing with that character. Like, he was just like, man, my girl on top of her game, blah blah blah. She's this. Them positives are really hitting negative, like
right.
You know, crazy pussy.
I don't know. So what's
what?
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
What's the ultimate word of advice for men today with these women regarding crazy pussy?
You know yourself. know yourself at the end of the day, because from what I understand and what I experience, like, you could be right, you could be wrong, but at the end of the day, the way that the impact that you have on a person, you never really know the impact that you can have on somebody. Like, you might be having a good time in your mind, but at the end of the day, like, I kind of see, like, not just women but people as universes. Like, they come with their own worlds and issues. That's just like, to get with you comes with just get more than with you. You have, not only do you have children,
but you come with.
You have family. You have the children's father. Like, it all comes with its own microorganisms or micro universe of things, not even just issues, just things that has to be checks and balances, things that has to be dealt with. And so it's like, just know what it is that what you're trying to get into. Know, like, okay, that's a big thing too. It's just like, when I be on dating sites and stuff like that, I be like, man, I be kind of marveled at seeing women that they post very bluntly, looking for something casual, or women who say, hey, was looking for something casual, but now I want something serious. Like, men have to get to a point where it's like, we're not being sneaky, or maybe we feel like we can't be as open about what our intentions are. I think that's another. Yeah,
you can.
Because I think too, my fear of, like, sometimes I'll be like, man, I should do that too on my profiles. I should be, like, open about what I want, but then I feel like that's gonna close me off to a good woman, or that's gonna close me off to, a potential good person or whatever. But honestly, like, I feel like men, we just have to probably be better at expressing what it is that you want, because you never know what that person is bringing with them.
What you want right now don't have to be what you want forever. And what you want right now, there might be a person out there that wants that same shit too, that doesn't want to be with you forever, doesn't want to experience that forever. So to me, it's kind of like, don't shoot yourself in the foot not asking for what you want.
Yeah. I think too, also learning how to deal with situations when you just had a moment and you've got to double back. Like, for instance, that's something that I'm experienced where, I was talking to an individual, a woman, you know what I'm saying? And, she kind of put the, I don't know, the carriage before the horse. You know what I'm saying? I ended up hitting it before we laid down laws and likeness.
And then she tried to break the rules later?
Man, like, right after. Not even like afterwards, but I'm talking about, like, after the session, it was like, you gonna cuddle? And I'm just like, what? Yeah. And then like while we leave, when I'm leaving, you're not gonna kiss me goodbye? I'm like, what? That's
but you know what? Men do it too. My DMD was like that. He wanted to cuddle. He wanted kisses, and I'm just like, sir. he wanted me to like come over whenever. I'm just like, no, you're on my time, and I'm a before work person.
I was just talking to my friend, one of my female friends about this, and I was just like, like I feel like saying something to her today, like just letting her know, like, hey, we had a moment, it was good, but because I don't want her to feel a certain type of way about I gave myself to him, and now he wants to ghost me. It's just that I realized, hey man, I thought I wanted this. It was a good time. Mm-hmm. I do realize the importance of, how you value yourself and your body, but I don't want a relationship. Yeah. I'm okay with this just being a moment. Yeah. And my friend was like, what you should do is just talk to her for about a week and then tell her, hey. So I'm like, but I already know I don't want this to go nowhere. So why would I?
No, what you need to do is do what I did. Sit down wherever, it could be over a smoothie outside, and be like, hey, what do you want? Okay, listen to what you want. What do you want? Okay, can we make this work? Deal.
Nah. That's the thing. No, but I know I don't want it to work. It was just a moment.
It was like a one-time thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just a moment. And it was some crazy pee. And I was just like, this ain't no I can't, this is no foundation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't no everyday. I can't do this every day.
Yeah.
This was a moment.
I feel like once I breastfed mine, it was a wrap. Once he had a taste of the nectar, he was like,
what? Oh, wait a minute. You
yes!
Wait a minute. Okay.
He was like, are you currently breastfeeding? I said, no. He was like, then why you still have milk? I said, sir, I can't tell you how the woman's body works. I just got one. And he was like,
okay.
I was just like, okay.
See, therein lies, the critique about the Jamaican woman, like that phrase when you said, like, once I breastfed mine, I thought you were talking about like your children. Are you talking about your men? Oh my God.
And I was like, I don't know why there's still milk in there. I thought it was out of dairy.
Oh my God. Yeah, he's bound to you.
So after I did that, he was like hooked, and I knew in my head at that moment, I was like, okay, this is the last.
That is some back to Africa, Nairobi, like.
It wasn't purpose. He was just so vicious with it. Just like
that is some candles, playing D'Angelo, voodoo, burn the incense type shit. I ain't never had some woman breastfeed me before, man.
Oh my God. My body was confused. Like, I know your body didn't have a baby, but we'll go ahead and give him some. I'm just like, no, he's not a baby. Wow. But yeah, but that was the last one for me.
And he was hooked for a while.
Yeah. He was like, hey, what's going on? I'm just like, hey, what's up? And there was like no text back. And then he reached out and he was like, hey, my birthday party is such and such. Here's an invitation. I looked at it, never went. Then he was like, hey, I'm having a Super Bowl party. You want to come? I was like, no. Like, sir.
I think one thing that should be addressed too, though, when it comes to, crazy pee and crazy peeing, what effects is COVID having on these relationships and these rendezvous,
Oh, I don't know, because I haven't been dealing with anybody since COVID started.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know, but there has been a lot of couples who are in bed with the enemy that end up losing their life. For real, they end up losing their life because they inside quarantine with somebody that really doesn't like them.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
That's true.
So unfortunately, it's not working out too great for everybody.
Right. I feel like, there's a lot of relationships, a lot of marriages. I'm seeing a lot of like breakups and divorces during COVID because now you're forced with that
To
person.
be around that person.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
But
Crazy.
you know.
But yeah, man, to these young guys, man, smarten up, know what it is, what you want. Be vocal about what you want. Worst feeling in the world when you get older is leading somebody on. Because again, like I was telling my friend, she was just like, you should just like talk to her for a week and then. But I'm like, I already know I don't want to go anywhere. So why would I drag it on? And
right.
And then she was like, I'm telling you, if you tell her tonight, she's gonna be blowing you up. And I was like, no. See, at my age, I realized boundaries.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you your own rope. I'm going to do this maturely, and I'm gonna say, hey, this is not what I want.
Yeah.
Maybe down the line I might want something else. So I'll leave my phone open to you. You can call me every now and then, or you can text me. But the moment I tell you, hey, this is not what I want, and you start acting like you didn't hear it, block. Block. I'm not gonna ghost you because who likes that? But hey, I'm gonna give you the boundaries.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna lock the door if you acting crazy.
Close the door. I mean, men, y'all need to know y'all worth too. It's not a woman's thing. Like,
right.
If a woman doesn't deserve the D, retreat. Yeah, if you have matured past that crazy puss, deny.
True, man, because no man wants to be traveling and find that he got bumps on the roads. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on, Mr. Mumps.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my God. But thank you, Nick. We needed that. Hey,
you're welcome. I'm pretty sure you're going to be doing a lot of editing tonight.
I mean, not that much because I like to leave the vicious gems in there because that's what they need.
Yeah.
You want to tell people where to reach you, where to find you?
Oh yeah, man! Hit me up at darkskindrake __ on Instagram. My stories are live. I have some silly stories and yeah, man, hit me up on there. One day, you'll probably see me on a podcast. Who knows? But yeah, you can hit me up over there.
I appreciate you.
All right, I appreciate you, my sister.
That's fine. Bye.
All right, bye.
What's so special about Hero Bread's soft, fluffy, and delicious breads, buns, and tortillas? These ultra-low net-carb baked goods contain zero sugar, fewer calories, and more protein than the leading brands, and are high in fiber to support gut health. Shop now at hero.co.